Hello everyone, Daisy here with a layout for Ink Road stamps. Today I'm going to be using two different stamp sets. This first one is Bloom Where You Are Planted, and I'm pulling off the leaves and some flowers, and I believe there's a tiny heart in there. And then I'm also pulling off the hexagon shapes off of the Chin Up Buttercup stamp set. Now I'm just using my archival inks in three colors. The first one here is Paradise Teal, and I'm just going to put all of these stamps on so that they all fit on this little scrap of cardstock, and I'm going to adhere them down to my tool, and then I'm going to stamp them all at the same time. The next color I use is called Majestic Violet. It's a purple color, and then I also use the Vibrant Fuchsia, and those are all the archival inks. So the cardstock that I'm using here is called Sweet Tooth, and it is from the Cardstock Warehouse. It's 100-pound cover stock, and it is perfect for stamping on. It's completely smooth, it's very thick, it stands up to every kind of ink I've tried to use on it so far, and it holds up really well to watercolor, which I'll be using here in a minute, without using any gesso. It doesn't warp hardly at all, and it is very affordable. So if you're looking for a cheap alternative for your stamping needs, I definitely recommend that cardstock. So these cut files are from the shop as well. So if you didn't know, Laura also does cut files, and they're available for sale in the shop, and I am using two of the different cut files. The first one with the geometric hearts is from the blended cut file. It's the full set, and then the What a Lovely Face is from the Frond of You. So I used my silhouette portrait and cut them out, and now I'm just using these Prima watercolors, and these are the Tropics, or Tropicals, excuse me, and I'm just going to use a few of the different colors, kind of coordinating with what I used to stamp with. So I'm using a pink color, a purple color, I mix together and make my own teal color. I also use a more redder pink and then a blue. And I'm just going to color each one of these little bits of the heart in because what I'm going to do is replace them back into the cut file. So this is something that Missy Whidden does. She just uses her cutting mat to do watercolor for little pieces like this, and it actually is the best way to keep track of them all. As you can see, I took those first pieces off because I didn't want to get this cutting mat dirty, but then I just, said whatever, we'll just go with it. So just decided to go on it, and it gets a little messy, but not very much. I'm just going to set these off to the side to dry now, and then when I come back I will, so this is how I cut out my stamped images. That is the Picscan mat that you can get for your silhouette, and what you do is your silhouette software calibrates itself to whatever camera you're using, and then you can create a cut file based out of basically any image that you can take a picture of. So I just took a picture of that, loaded it into my software. I did a little bit of an offset so that it didn't cut directly on the stamped image, and then I just let it do its thing and it cut it out. And I love that because I hate fussy cutting, so it's perfect. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all of the little pieces of this heart cut file. And I'm just using this glue. This is from a company called Imagine, and it's called On Point glue. It's clear, it comes with its own fine line bottle, and I wasn't really a fan of it when I first started using it, but now that I've got kind of the pressure down, it's fabulous. Because when I first started using it, it would just come out in huge clumps, but now I've got it kind of under control and I like it a lot better. So now I'm just choosing which of these images that I stamped that I want to use on this layout. Again, they all coordinate the colors with the hearts that I used. And so I'm just going to create a couple of clusters with the leaves and then with some hexagons and the flowers. I decided to use a black background because it really made the colors pop. And I wanted to cut this geometric heart cut file out in white, so I thought the black would be perfect. And that is black licorice cardstock, also from the Cardstock Warehouse. And I'm just going to mess around with these a little bit, trying to decide where I want all of the little pieces, trying to mix up the colors so they're not all next to each other. And then I wasn't sure if I wanted to add the flowers or not, so I do end up adding them, but I try them out in a couple of places here. Now you can see probably that my cut file didn't, or that the cut didn't go through all the way, and that was again, user error. Sometimes I forget to adjust my blade depth, and so it cuts super well. I just forget to turn my blade up from when I'm using different papers. So I'm deciding to use this photo, and this is of my youngest daughter in a hot tub, and I don't know, she just looks so happy and peaceful, and it's just the perfect photo, so I decided that this would be a great layout for this. I'm just going to trim it down to kind of a 3x4 size, and then I'm going to back it on some white cardstock and some glitter paper. Now, if you don't already, you should head on over to Facebook and join the Facebook group, Become a Roadie. You get to see sneak peeks of the upcoming releases. You can also see all of the design team projects, as well as see if there's any sales or anything. The shop is currently closed through the weekend while Laura does some inventory. You are able to get the cut files, though. Those are always available, so you could head on over there and check them out if you're interested in them. But the shop will reopen, I believe it's Monday morning, and so you should definitely be ready for that. You can always use my code DAISY10 for 10% off of your purchase. And again, if you follow on Facebook or on Instagram, you'll be able to see when sales are coming up and when there's, every now and then there'll be specials and when the new stamp sets come out. So I'm just going to place down this lovely face, and then off screen I do a little bit more. I color in all of the words using a Wink of Stella clear glitter brush, and then I also go around the edge with it. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this layout, and I will see you again soon. Bye!